Alright, so we've got some absolutely massive news for anyone who's a fan of Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, or honestly just co-op games in general. The creative director behind Left 4 Dead, Mike Booth, has confirmed that he's working on a brand new cooperative shooter. And this isn't just some random guy tossing together another zombie shooter. It's the guy who helped shape one of the most legendary co-op experiences of all time. Now, for context, Left 4 Dead 2 came out back in 2009, and that's 16 years ago. Most of us have been holding out hope for a Left 4 Dead 3 at some point, but Valve did what Valve always does and just left us hanging. They literally had prototypes for Left 4 Dead 3 in development years ago before canceling it. And ever since then, the community has been left in this super weird limbo. We got rumors, leaks, and little tidbits over the years, but nothing ever materialized. The closest thing we've had to official content in the past decade was the Last Stand update in 2020, and that wasn't even made by Valve, it was made by the community itself with Valve's blessing. Don't get me wrong, that update was incredible, but it was basically just a reminder that Valve wasn't going to carry the torch anymore. That's why this announcement is such a big deal, because Mike Booth is officially back in the co-op shooter space. According to The Gamer, and I want to quote this directly, Mike Booth, the creator and lead designer of Left 4 Dead, has revealed that he and his team at Bad Robot Games are making a new co-op shooter, quote, based on what made Left 4 Dead special. Based on the special sauce of Left 4 Dead. That right there is enough to get any longtime fan hyped. He's not just making another game, he's trying to tap back into the magic that made Left 4 Dead stand out in the first place. The article also says, Booth is focusing on creating gameplay scenarios that emphasize teamwork and dynamic enemy behavior, much like the AI director from Left 4 Dead. And that's huge. Because if you've played Left 4 Dead, you know the AI director is the secret sauce. It's the thing that keeps every run different. It controls when the horde comes, where special infected spawn, when to throw a tank at you. Basically, it makes sure you're never comfortable. Hearing that Booth wants to bring that same philosophy into this new project means we're not just looking at another cookie-cutter shooter. And this is what makes it such exciting news for the Left 4 Dead 2 community specifically. We haven't had real official content since the Last Stand update, which was already 5 years ago. Fans have kept the game alive through mods, custom campaigns, and community servers, but nothing official has come out. So to now have the original director come back with a new project, that's huge. It's like the co-op torch is being passed back to someone who actually knows how to carry it. And let's not forget Left 4 Dead 3. That game was actually real. It was in development around 2011 to 2012, and there were leaks, concept art, and even prototypes floating around. But Valve pulled the plug before it could ever see the light of day. For fans, that cancellation felt like a punch to the gut. It was the dream of a true sequel that just kind of died. So now hearing that Mike Booth is back, it's almost surreal. This isn't Left 4 Dead 3, but it's the spiritual successor we've been waiting for. Booth gets to take the co-op formula he created, evolve it with modern tech, and do it without Valve's restrictions. No corporate leash, no worrying about ruining the sequel. Just pure chaos, team play, and replayability. Now, before we all start drafting our Left 4 Dead 3 is back t-shirts and buying custom zombie masks, let's pump the brakes a little. We don't actually know what this game is going to look like yet. Remember Back 4 Blood? Everyone hyped it up as the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, and yeah, that didn't exactly age very well. The gameplay was clunky, the pacing was off, and somehow even with a quote-unquote modern engine, it lost that chaotic magic that made the originals so much fun. So it's great that Booth is back in the driver's seat, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This could be amazing, or it could end up being another case of hype outpacing reality. The difference is that this is Mike Booth, the original mastermind, and he clearly understands what made Left 4 Dead legendary, but until we see some gameplay or get to playtest it ourselves, it's all speculation. Still, even with that little voice of caution in your head, it's hard not to get excited. For the first time in over a decade, it feels like the co-op zombie genre might finally get a proper revival, not some watered-down imitation. And here's something that makes it even more exciting: modern technology. Back when Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 were made, the Source engine was impressive for its time, but it had limits. You could only have so many common infected on screen at once before things started to break down. And the AI director, while revolutionary, was also constrained by what the hardware could handle. Now, modern engines and hardware could potentially handle hundreds of common infected swarming at once, with multiple special infected coordinating attacks all at the same time, and still run smoothly. It's not just quantity either. AI and animations have come a long way. Each infected could behave more intelligently, special infected could act in more unpredictable ways, and the environment itself could interact dynamically with both survivors and enemies. Safe rooms could feel genuinely tense, hordes could feel overwhelming in a new way, and the chaos could reach levels we never experienced in the original games. So yeah, while we should definitely keep our expectations in check, it's hard not to imagine just how insane this could get. Booth's vision combined with today's tech could mean gameplay that feels fresh and exciting, even to veterans that have logged thousands of hours in Left 4 Dead 2. And here's where it ties back to what Booth himself has been saying. According to the article, he's putting a huge emphasis on playtesting, testing scenarios extensively with players to make sure every encounter feels chaotic, tense, and fun. It's clear he wants to capture the unpredictable magic of the originals, where no two runs are the same, and the AI responds dynamically to players' actions. That level of design doesn't happen by accident. It requires feedback, iteration, and a lot of testing. The best part? You can actually sign up for playtesting right now on their official website. I'm putting a link in the description so you can get involved and maybe even be one of the first to experience what could be the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. Being part of the early testing process means you'll see firsthand how Booth is iterating on the chaos, teamwork, and unpredictability that made the originals legendary. So again, go down below and check the description and sign up if that's something you want to do. And that's really the heart of why this is such huge news for the Left 4 Dead community. Think about it, we've been waiting over a decade for something official, something that isn't just a mod or a fan campaign. The Last Stand update was amazing, don't get me wrong, but it was a reminder of how starved the community has been. For years, we've kept Left 4 Dead 2 alive ourselves, pouring hours into custom campaigns, mods, and servers just to keep the chaos going. Now, for the first time in over 10 years, it feels like this series might actually have a future again. Booth coming back to create a brand new co-op shooter isn't just exciting, it's validation. It's proof that the formula we all fell in love with still matters, and that there's still someone out there who wants to push it forward. And honestly, that's what makes this moment so incredible. The possibility of hundreds of infected, smarter AI, massive hordes, and unpredictable chaos running smoothly on modern hardware? That's the dream we didn't even know we were still dreaming. The chaos, the tension, the teamwork, all the things that made Left 4 Dead legendary could come roaring back, bigger and better than ever. For fans who've been holding out hope since the cancellation of Left 4 Dead 3, this is the closest thing we've had to an official revival. It's not Left 4 Dead 3, and it's not even officially a spiritual successor, but in spirit, it's exactly that. And for a community that has survived for over a decade on nostalgia, mods, and sheer devotion, this announcement is everything. So yeah, keep that excitement in check, don't jump to conclusions, but allow yourself to enjoy this hype. Because after years of silence, after the disappointment of cancellations, and games like Back 4 Blood that didn't capture the magic, we finally have a reason to be hyped again. And if you're a fan of chaos, teamwork, and co-op zombie madness, this is exactly the news you've been waiting for. The co-op genre is about to get shaken up in a way that at least I hope we haven't seen in years, and I for one can't wait to see what Mike Booth has in store. So to wrap things up and summarize, here's what we do know. Mike Booth, the creative director behind Left 4 Dead 2, is officially working on a brand new co-op shooter. We do not have a release date, we don't have gameplay yet, and we don't exactly know what it's going to look like. But what we do know is that this is someone who helped define one of the most iconic co-op experiences of all time. And he's clearly approaching this project thoughtfully, with playtesting, iteration, and a focus on chaos and teamwork. And that's what made the original so legendary. I know that I've repeated chaos and teamwork throughout this video, but in the article he put a massive emphasis on those two words, so hopefully we really do see those come to fruition. And as a part of the Left 4 Dead community, this is easily one of the biggest announcements that we have had in years. After years of waiting for something that we didn't even know existed, and after the disappointment of Left 4 Dead 3 being cancelled, and after the only official update being The Last Stand, it finally feels like the series has a future again. And with that modern technology we talked about, the gameplay could be more insane, unpredictable, and yes, again, chaotic than anything we've seen before. Now, I know this isn't my usual content here on the channel, but I thought this news was too big for our community not to cover. If you're interested, you can even sign up for playtesting right now on their website. Again, I've got a link to that down in the description below, so you can get involved and maybe even be a part of shaping this next chapter in co-op zombie gaming. So yeah, that's where things stand. It's a mix of hype, cautious optimism, and genuine excitement for the future. Whether you're a veteran survivor from the original games, or a newer fan who's just discovering the chaos that Left 4 Dead 2 and Left 4 Dead 1 have to offer, there's a lot to look forward to. So, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. And of course, drop a comment letting me know what you think. Are you as excited as I am for Booth's new project? Until next time, stay safe out there, survivors, and remember, keep an eye on those corners, because you never know when a shitty adaptation of your favorite game, Back 4 Blood, may be lurking.